Hi everyone, Heather Reid here from Planner Protect, where we help you negotiate your next venue contract with confidence. Today I want to talk about two words that sound similar but have different meanings. And they're not vastly different meanings, but they are different, and we need to be aware of them when we're contracting, particularly for a large event that has a lot of moving pieces. So the two words that I want to talk about are ancillary and auxiliary. So these two words, ancillary and auxiliary, they might be used interchangeably, but they actually in fact mean different things. So ancillary spend, that's how you often hear ancillary services, ancillary spend. And what we want to capture in our venue contract are those sources of ancillary revenue from an event. So the word ancillary actually means that it is subordinate to the main event. So if you think about an event that has guest rooms, for example, so it's not the room rate, but it might be the food and beverage that is for room service, or it might be resort fees, or it might be anything extra, little charges like dry cleaning or porterage fees, those sorts of things that are collected by a venue in relation to someone, your attendee, staying at the property or attending the event at the property. So you want to think about ancillary revenue. So it's not the main event revenue, but it's the other sources of revenue that are subordinate or less than the main event. And then we want to contrast that with auxiliary revenue. And auxiliary revenue are those events or revenue that is driven by things that are outside of the main event, but they support the main event. So for example, if you have a large meeting and you have a number of companies that come in for your trade show, for example, and they host a dinner for some of your attendees, or they might host their own meeting and they do some food and beverage consumption. They may take a small block of rooms, maybe outside of your room block, but they do their own thing for their attendees to come in or their reps to come in. What you want to do is capture all of that auxiliary revenue in your contract as well, because your event, your main event, has brought that auxiliary support events to the property, and you want to be given credit for that. So in the contract, you want to be capturing revenue from both ancillary revenue sources, so those things that are part of your main event but aren't the main revenue streams. And then you also want to be capturing the auxiliary events and the revenue from those. So be sure to ask those questions. You don't necessarily need to use those terms, but you want to be thinking about those sources of revenue and being given credit for them. So for example, being given credit for extra rooms brought to the hotel or the property because of your event. Think about extra revenue brought to the property through food and beverage. So it's capturing and being given credit for. A lot of contracts now are built on minimum revenue spends, minimum food and beverage spend, minimum guest room spend, and all of those ancillary and auxiliary sources will help you meet those minimum spends. So that's my tip for this week. If that has been helpful to you, I would encourage you to check out the other YouTube videos that we have. I would also encourage you to sign up for our bi-weekly newsletter at plannerprotect.ca. And you know what I really love? Pick up the phone and give me a call. I have a 15-minute complimentary call feature on my website. You can book a time and let's chat about a clause that's giving you a challenge, about next steps for support, etc. So that's it for today. See you next time.